Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome into the show. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr., and as always, thank you so much for tuning in to the show. Coming up, a lot that I want to talk about on this Wednesday morning here on March 12th, day 3 of NFL free agency. The 49ers finally getting some good news during this free agency period. The Niners also signing a cornerback to their roster. San Francisco loses out on signing Joey Bosa. He's headed to the Buffalo Bills. And I want people to answer this question. Have the 49ers and owner Jed York gotten cheap? Stay tuned for that because I have some thoughts on that as well. I first want to say thank you to the Niner gang for supporting the program. We surpassed 158,000 subscribers as one of the largest Niners channels right here on YouTube. Let's keep building. And if you want Niners shows every single day year-round, be sure to lock us in and hit that sub button. A programming reminder, too, by the way, we will be live here in just a couple of hours for the start of the official new league year in the National Football League. We will officially flush that awful 2024 season for the Niners and flip the page to the 2025 campaign. Unfortunately, as of right now, things don't seem to be pointing up for San Francisco because this roster is bereft of a lot of talent. But I do want to hit you with some good news here. The NFL announcing compensatory picks for teams in the NFL who are being given comp picks, and things are shaping up pretty nicely for what is going to be a critical 2025 NFL draft at the end of April. And here are all of the Niners picks. San Francisco slotted to have 11 selections in the 2025 draft. Of course, they will first be on the board, on the clock, at number 11 overall in the first round. Their second round pick, 43rd overall. Third round pick, 75th. Some good news here. They have the 100th overall pick. That is a compensatory pick officially given to San Francisco, so we now know where that selection will be. The Niners, quickly on the clock after that, round 4, 113 overall. Then San Francisco has been given another compensatory pick in the 4th round at 138. In the 5th round, one pick at 148, 6th round, 187, and then they have 3 7th round picks, 227, and then 2 compensatory picks, 249 and 252. So that is officially 4 compensatory picks as the Niners continue to master the compensatory pick formula. And what do the Niners need to do with this draft and next draft, where they are once again going to be locked and loaded with a lot of selections? They need to crush this draft. If you're going to have this rebuild on the fly or reset, and you want to get younger and cheaper, and you want to build through the draft, you have to build through the draft by taking really good players. Speaking of players, the Niners have signed a cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks. Tre Brown signing with San Francisco according to his agency. Background on the player, 2021 4th-round pick out of Oklahoma. He was with the Seahawks his entire career. 5'10", 185. In the pre-draft process, he ran well, a 4.42 40-yard dash. With the Seahawks, he has started 10 games the last 2 years, 13 games throughout his career. The most that he's played as far as starts came in 2023, 7 starts. He played in 5 games, 3 starts as a rookie, 6 games, 0 starts in year 2, 15 games, 7 starts in year 3, and this past year, 13 games, 3 starts under Mike McDonald. And as far as his numbers go that really stand out, in 2023, he had 2 picks, 6 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles. By far his best year of his career. He also added a sack there, 2 TFLs in 2023. So he has played somewhat sparingly throughout his career. You have to imagine that this is a theme of San Francisco continuing to bring in some special teams players. And then on defense, they're hoping that Robert Saleh can really maximize these players as well. This past year for Brown, overall PFF grade of 53.5, pass rush grade 56.2, run defense grade 71.7. That's in the green there, and a coverage grade of 53.5. The Niners now have, I think, 6 safeties signed to their 90-man roster they don't have a lot of corners signed to their roster. And in my opinion, right now they only have 2 bona fide starters. That's Diamador Lenore and that's Renardo Green. Other than that, they are thin at that cornerback spot. So they're adding a corner, which is what they needed to do here in Tre Brown. Some news last night, the Niners missing out on Joey Bosa. He gets $12.6 million on a 1-year contract to play for the Buffalo Bills. And I had predicted this over the weekend, and I would have signed Bosa to a 1-year $10 million deal or a 2-year $20 million deal, $10 million per season. The Niners probably offered Joey Bosa somewhere in the range of $10 million per year. He wanted to play with the Super Bowl contender, and he wanted to get paid a little bit more money. And so he gets $12.6 million for the Buffalo Bills on that 1-year contract, and the Bosa dream comes to an end, at least for 2025. And I imagine Nick Bosa really wanted to play with his brother, but when you factor in state income taxes in California and in New York, and with this Niners team seeming to reset for 2025, Bosa gets more money, which will go further given the state income taxes and overall taxes in California, and he goes to a better team in Buffalo. And so I can see why Joey Bosa went this route. And the Niners, they might have a bottom 5 defensive line in the NFL as currently constituted, right? As of this recording at 12:50 p.m. on March 12th. Because you look at the starting front 4 for San Francisco as of right now. It's bad. Nick Bosa, Evan Anderson, Jordan Elliott, Sam Okuano. And as backups, you have your Turgros Matos and Kevin Givens. It's not good. Now, after missing out on Joey Bosa, I think the Niners' backup plan at edge rusher should be signing Azeez Ojulari. A lot of ability, went on the field, a lot of production, still a really young player, draft pedigree, twitch, speed, bend, coming off the edge. And because he's been injured a little bit throughout his career since getting drafted out of Georgia, I don't think that you have to break the bank, and that fits the Niners' strategy here. As it stands right now, though, I think the 49ers, when you canvass this roster, obviously it's early, have a bottom 5 defensive line, bottom 10 offensive line, one of the weakest linebacker groups in the NFL, bottom half wide receiver group, massive questions at running back, and they need cornerback help. The Niners very well might stink in 2025, even with one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. And I want to round out with this. Are the 49ers getting cheap, led by owner Jed York? I just don't know what the Niners are doing here, because they are operating like a bad, dysfunctional organization. The Niners have one bad season last year. They go 6-11, and all of a sudden they're pinching pennies and they've gotten cheap. This is a bad look on Jed York. The 49ers are a cash cow. They are valued at $9 billion. They just sold a stake of their organization for nearly $1 billion. And they're shedding salaries left and right. Look, I was in front of John Lynch. Here, from me to this camera, right in front of John Lynch at the NFL Combine. He said, we got to shed some salary, but do you have to do it to this degree where you are completely cleaning house and now going into 2025, you have this roster that is bereft of talent all over the place? I don't think you needed to do it to this degree. I know that the 49ers are taking on all of this dead money seemingly for 2025 so that they can load up in cap space for 2026, but I just don't get the strategy. And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, do I want to stay with an organization that's cheap and operating like the Dallas Cowboys? It's a little bit weird. And the Jed York regime and the York family at times, they've been cheap. And so looking ahead for this organization, as of right now, considering what they haven't done in free agency, I'm a little bit concerned about the future of the San Francisco 49ers. And again, if you're Kyle Shanahan, he's competitive. He wants to win. His legacy's on the line. Does he want to be with the team that's pitching pennies? Hopefully this isn't the plan for the long haul, but right now, I don't like it. I get moving on from some of these players, But to this degree, to the point where your roster is so thin, it doesn't match up with their acquisition of Robert Saleh. You're going to make Robert Saleh one of the highest paid defensive coordinators in the game. That signaled going all in. And right now the Niners are doing anything but going all in. And if you're Robert Saleh, you're like, I got to make do with these parts. With all these holes on defense, he's really going to have to coach his ass off. And Kyle Shanahan's going to have to coach his ass off. And if you're going to rebuild, if that is the Niners' plan, if you're going to rebuild, do you want to sign Brock Purdy to a contract of $50 to $60 million per year? I don't know how much that makes sense. Our friends at Fanatics hooking you up with the great deal with this Niners Polo. Was $80, now $43. It's chatsports.com/49polo. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Plenty of content to come throughout the rest of the day. So lock us in. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report.